Typically, you get the game done, and usually a few weeks after the game is done, you start to see the reviews. And the reviews is sort of your first good indication of, how the game might be received.
We've just been lucky. I think that life and business can be kind of unfair, and in our case, it's unfair in our favor.
And that we've been lucky in that we've been able to work on projects that everybody believed in, that everyone really cared about. Not all companies can. Sometimes you're in a position where you just have to take some work to keep the doors open, right? And you end up working on, I don't know, Rugrats port or something. It's hard to say anything without, pissing all over somebody's project, somebody's life dream to do a Rugrats game on DS. I'm sorry. I just didn't mean to do that to you. I'm sorry.
They're also not a huge team by today's standards. They're less than 50 people at this point. And for a team that size to build something this good and this well crafted is pretty amazing.
Taking your time and kind of nurturing a product and keeping your team a little bit smaller, but handpicking the people that you want to work on it, as opposed to just muscling people at it and forcing it out in a year and a half, that's the way to make a game, is to craft it. So
I think we proved to our publisher and sort of gamers that we can make a good game. But what's really more important, and this sounds really lame, is that we kind of proved to ourselves that we could do it. So even if we did make a game that didn't meet with a lot of commercial success, we know that we're capable.
They say if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Well, these guys here, that's proof.
It's kind of a good feeling. I can say, hey, I'm living my dream. I'm going to go to GameStop and take a picture of me holding the game on the shelf like a nerd.
We're all game nerds, so it's inevitable.
One of my friends is a pretty big gamer, and he's really excited about playing Infamous. I think I have the coolest job in the world. I like to perpetuate that.
Well, of course, for all of my friends, they thought I have the coolest job ever. So they just like, you must be playing the game all day long. I said, no, that's not my job, yes.
The longer I've been in the industry, the less time I have to play games a lot. I don't get to play as much as I'd like because, sometimes, especially on a project, you're working a lot. I rely on my kids to show me stuff sometimes because my son's a big gamer and he has way more free time than I do. It's really handy because he'll play through the games and I can watch him play and I can look at things as opposed to playing it, which allows me to focus on the artwork and what they're doing, which is the thing I'm most interested in. As far as my interest in gaming goes all the way back to, and this reveals my age too much, but going all the way back to playing Asteroids and Space Invaders. So, and then my grandfather was even in the amusement machine business. So going all the way back to when I was a small child, playing pinballs that I had free access to. So I've always, I guess, been involved in some respect in some sort of electronic form of entertainment because I don't know, guys love that stuff.
My parents don't understand it in the beginning, so because my dad doing like architect stuff, so he really wanted me become to an interior design because he's like, I can do the outside of the building, you can do the inside, so we can just like work together. And then when I become to the game artist, and because he don't play games, so he kind of feel like, game artist?
There's this break line, which is basically if you're younger than me, you think my job is cool, and if you're older than me, you think that I'm corrupting America's youth. I think that's just the generation gap of life.
But it's still really cool to think, I had a big part in this.
Then the fan mail you get when people really play the game and like it, it really means something because you know how much sweat and how much tears went into that game. It's great.
And then we even have little kids visit our office, was saying like, "I know you're working for the Sly Cooper."
And especially on the Sly games, because we're writing games that appeal to a lot of people, but the core of the market was kind of young, and it's really fun getting mail from a 6-year-old, right?
At Sucker Punch, we get some fan letters, and sometimes they give us really helpful tips. Like this kid right here, he says that if we stop making Sly Cooper games, we might lose business. He's not threatening us, but he is warning us, so I appreciate that. Some of them are a little bit crazy. You can see here, this kid is written everything single space. He really means it. This is longer than any book report he's ever done, I'm sure.
I think everyone remembers some experience from when they were that age, when they were 8 or when they were 10 or when they were 16, of when they played their first video game. And it's cool. It's cool to be that game for somebody.
It's making people's lives better. It's entertainment, and I'm down with that.
We like doing the kinds of games we do. We want to keep getting better and better at this.
And it's like the Wild West. People are still exploring the language of games, and it's great to be in on the ground floor. And it's really exciting.
It's always new. Things are always changing. You have new platforms every 5, 6, 7 years. So every game's a new blank canvas to draw on.
A lot of people talk about, are games going to become as emotionally impactful as movies? And that always drives me completely crazy, because when I was playing Doom, I don't know about you guys, but I'd go around a corner and a monster would pop out, and I would kind of dodge like this, like physically dodge. I've never physically dodged when watching a movie, so I mean that's really real. It's kind of it's core. You just can't help it. So I don't really think that better graphics or better lighting or better scripts or setups are going to get people more dialed into the narrative. I mean, I hope so, but what I really hope is that people get more dialed into the visceral experience of being that character. It's like playing as a kid, It's just purely fun to climb on the jungle gym. So why not make more jungle gyms for adults,